Thank you. What is popping? Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you all are having an amazing time out there. Welcome to today's music reaction with Sim this time. If this is your first time of tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. If you love good music, you love to discover new artists, new talent, I will say you are at the right place. And you know what? Please do not forget to smash the subscribe button. Turn on the notification so you get notified whenever I post. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate that. So on today's music reaction, I'll be reacting to the Wreck of the Edmund by Fitzgerald, Gordon Lightfoot. This is actually my first time reacting to Gordon, and I'm kind of excited, and I cannot really wait to get started. And you know what? Let's go straight, gangs, and see what Gordon Lightfoot got for us. So straight up, here we go.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? The wind in the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed you." At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice-water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. The iron boats go as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered. In a musty old hall in Detroit they prayed in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. And the legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
Oh my gosh, this is just excuse me guys, oops, sorry, this is just a very sad one. This was such a terrible, sad event to even start with, you know. It is kind of very hard to understand how something so massive can be destroyed by the weather, hurricane. Yeah. For those that grew up near the Great Lakes, I'm very sure that like you kind of grew up knowing this song, because like I heard that it was kind of very popular back then, and to me the repetitive melody feels like a boat rocking, like rocking, splashing, breaking upon the waves. That it's really, I am still trying to figure out. I don't know how something like this would just be in a trickle of an eye or something like that, and that is a very sad story, I am going to say that Gordon Lightfoot's lyrics, yes, tell a story. I mean, the story is he did a great job, but for me, it kind of seems like they also place the listener. Like, I was listening to the song and also feel like I am part of, or I am in the story, and I feel the anguish of the crew, the sadness of the families, left behind, people that lost their loved ones and all that. To this day, when ships pass that side of the wreck, they kind of ring the bells 29 times, in honor of the people that died, people that died during the wreck. That is very sad. Canadian icon Gordon Lightfoot brilliantly described the tragic event lyrically. I don't know, but he did a, because, like, you know, I never heard of this, but the way he, like, I kind of saw how the whole thing happened. So he did a great job, like he brilliantly described the tragic event lyrically. And I learned that the song like kind of reached number, I think number 2 in the United States and 1, like, you know, top 1 in Canada. And I also learned that Gordon donated all the profits from the hits, like all the money he made from this song, to the families of those 29 people who lost their lives on the Edmund Fitzgerald. And that is so amazing, like, you know, so nice of him. He's such a good person, you know. I just don't want to imagine how the family felt, like, you know, when they heard the news. Like, you can imagine when your probably your wife or your child, like, you know, left the house and you are in kind of expecting them back, and then you get a very sad news. You know, it's kind of a very, like, for me, I think it's a very sad, like, it's a very sad story, and kind of also a very shocking one too, you know. And I am going to say that Gordon is a first-class act, big time. And does anyone know where the love of God goes? Oh my gosh, that one really touched like every part of me. When the waves turn the minutes to hours, and it's just a stunning verse, you know. The song is kind of complex yet very simple, about a real life tragedy, you know. And the lines and all that remains are the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and daughters gets to me, you know, so much. I really feel so sad, like, you know, reacting to this, because, you know, it's just not something anybody would kind of, you know, it's happened, yeah, but, you know, it's a very terrible experience. And I don't know, you know, the whole thing just gets to me so bad. The song is really not like, the song is a masterpiece about the terrible tragic event, and I don't really know how he kind of, you know, put himself together to bring like everything that happened, like, you know, into one, I don't know, one place like this, like the way he wrote it. And like, for me, I did not like, you know, I did not experience that, but I am experiencing it through the song, because he wrote the song in a way that, like, you know, I am the listener, but I feel like I am part of the story also. So like, he kind of carried almost everyone along, and all that. It's absolutely amazing. And I think this is one of the most, you know, haunting songs I've ever heard. Very haunting. And I would say Gordon is a great storyteller. He did a good job, like, you know, with the storytelling. And even I think anybody would definitely understand, like, you know, what is going on from the song and all that. So he did a great job, and it's a beautiful tribute. And because of it, those men will cannot live forever, because each time, for those that lost the loved ones and all that, or people, friends, and the rest of it, each time you listen to the song, it's a very good reminder, and kind of like, it's, you know, it's very hard to forget them. It's kind of hard to forget them. So I'm going to, like, through the entire song, you know, I was on that ship, like, and I was just like on the ship with them, you know. And I don't know how, you know, I just, like, you know, got so like, you know, the mixed feelings and all that is just something I cannot tell. Like, you know, I cannot picture myself in the ship, like, you know, trying to, like, know, like, how people felt when the whole thing happened. But then it happened. Some, like, there are some tunes, like, there are some songs that give chill, you know, when you hear them. And those first chords, it's one of them. This is the kind of song that when you listen to, you got all that chills and all that. For me, this is a very great song. He did a good job with the storytelling, and absolutely fantastic. Hey gang, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for all you do for me. I really appreciate you all, and I am so grateful that I've got you all. And from me to you, here we go. See you all in my next reaction, and you know what? Bye for now.